I'm not gonna like. Yeah, that's what I realized that I can't hear the harmonica. Are you actually playing it, or you're? Oh wait,
people harmonica is like the bagpipes. Either they love the harmonica and the bagpipes, or they don't. And this is a blues band harmonica right here.
yeah.
Diatonic that is be played like Steven Tyler would play a harmonica, or Bob Dylan.
All right, let's see. Let's do some sound. Like you're coming across like a little quiet, but I'm like, and it's cool. That's the thing. Like we got with the live show, it doesn't really matter. We can like hang out for a bit, and what I don't know, like, there's a chat feature in here, so I think we can see that. But what I don't know is I see that'll show the chat. What I'm not sure, and I'm gonna have to work on this, is like the LinkedIn live event part of this is cool because it sends this alert and you get like people see the post and everything, but like for actual like people joining the show, like I'm not really sure how effective it is. I do think, like I don't think you can really see like, hey, you got X number of people on it. Maybe you can. I can go to the show itself.
Real quick. Within Restream, you can't see anything on my side. I'm coming across.
You can't see it in Restream. I know that for sure.
Yes, maybe next further.
Let me check it out here. I'm gonna go like to the event page.
I'm there now, and I don't know if I can get into anything. You can always do a comment message for the waiting to come in.
Yeah, no, I see us live, that for sure. I don't see like a bunch of event views, so we probably don't like have a bunch of live people, or I'm not sure really. Like some people said they were gonna attend, but I'm not really and hopefully we can like get some chats or something in here. So
do that. Well, we got some people joining here today that have registered from a lot of different people we know and some we know very well. They're coming in.
I see the comments here on LinkedIn. What? And then I lost Mike. Hold on, you like disconnected for a second.
Oh, really?
But
I'm waiting for the host to join.
Wait, where does it say that?
It told me they're waiting on you to join. So I went blank.
Okay. Well, let's get into the topic. I mean, I don't, I feel like probably if I do this again, I don't know if I would do it as like a LinkedIn live event this way, because it's not like quite the right
medium.
It doesn't feel like it's like we want to have something where we're interacting people with inside of the event a lot more, and like actual people. Like I feel like this isn't exactly like.
There's a chat box there. Always chats up here real fast.
Yeah, I need to look like there's another way to do this where you just publish the event on LinkedIn and then people join the event on like Restream. So that's what like Gary was like, hey, I want to jump in and check it out, but and I'm like, where's the link? And I said, okay, well, you're gonna get this thing on LinkedIn. And it'll like let you know when it's live. And I was like,
maybe you can add a channel to connect to this channel.
Yeah, well, I think that's
through the the reason we're getting together today with Bill versus why. So let's launch that out before we lose our audience.
Yeah. No, I think we should jump into. Oh, hey, here's a look. Like, there's another way to do this where you can publish the event on LinkedIn, and then people join the event on like. Okay, I'm in like the live studio. I'm just gonna get out of here. Like, let's just do our show, and
Yeah, let's do it.
And then, because we want the recording anyway. I mean, I don't really.
Yeah, we want to do that anyway.
So.
If people show up and leave and change channels, that's fine.
Or yeah, like we don't really know. That's the weird thing. Like you don't really know who's watching or if anybody is. No, I've been doing this almost every day, just because it's kind of what I started doing. But I think that like the LinkedIn live event just might not be there yet. You know, it's like we need to have like more of a community tool. And I'm not sure. I think Restream can do it, but I might try like. Some of the other guys I work with are on StreamYard, but let's jump in. I mean, I think to be honest with you, since this is our first show, let's do some like intros. Like, just tell me, and then here, do one other thing, like, because you're like, I don't know, we should try to get our headshots so that they're pretty similar, right?
I mean, I'm on top of my MacBook. I don't have.
Oh, you don't have like a cool camera, man. Oh man, we're gonna have to get you like at your studio. All right, well we'll just go this way, man.
Responses, we'll have to do that.
All right, we'll work out the whole like that piece. So so just tell me. Let's go jump in.
Well, I'm Michael H. on LinkedIn, but in real life, I'm known as Michael Honer. I have over 30 years of background in the area of technology regarding software, Internet of Things devices, as well as hardware as well, and firmware as well. My first start in the software industry was Oracle Corporation, and I've worked in about 4 other companies now, including some consulting firms that I've been consulting with. There's Dev, which is a global consultancy that does custom development for software services. From a custom build point of view, they're builders of software, not providers of software. I also work with providers of software, such as PHP, for example, and some others as well that are actually software service providers with value for either fintech, HR tech, or other types of technology for automation and innovation. And that's what I do. What about you, Govind? What about you?
Yeah, honestly, it is funny because you look at it like, okay, why am I getting into this like AI, the tech stuff? The last, really almost 10 years, I've been more focused on marketing, a lot of marketing in the tech, SaaS, software services space, but definitely less like hands-on in terms of like my tech, work. Before that, though, I spent about 10 years building low-code. You can call it automation or a lot of project management systems, business management systems. Probably about 300 implementations that I was personally involved in, and everything from it's funny. I've told you a few times about building the financial compliance or SOX compliance system for Oracle. That was an insane project, but many other kind of similar types of work for companies like Walmart, P&G, Coke, Disney. I could just go kind of on and on. And so it's funny when you get the enterprise build buy. To me that was actually kind of that 70-30 where it was like low code, sort of rapid development was kind of 70-30, right? It was like, invest in the platform that is going to take a lot of the like non-essential code type work out and then leverage that for speed and time is money. So if you do a project in 3 months instead of 3 years, you're going to have also a huge reduction in the cost of that project as well. So
for you as a builder, Govind, why would you want to build code from scratch? Talk about that, because you have a rooted background like I do as a software design engineer and a solution architect. Why would you want to build stuff from scratch? And what's the value?
So it was interesting. I mean, this is the slide you sent me, and it's like, okay, there's in-house build versus buy, and it's not that simple. I mean, I will say that, like, okay, and first of all, what does that even mean? where are you building? What are you building? And there's certain, I would think, decisions that you're going to make whether it's a CIO or business leader, you're going to look at something and say like, hey, does this create strategic value? Is there a reason to write code here? Now, that being said, the platform that I built on was QuickBase, and QuickBase did a lot of really cool things. And there were things that QuickBase was capable of because it was an in-memory database in particular that made it unique, and really it was like Microsoft Access on the web at the time. And so he's like, hey, you can build the forms and all this stuff. And what happened is there were other pieces of it that we couldn't accomplish. And the company that I built, we ended up writing a lot of code, right? And so we had,
which might have been good. I mean, use case.
Well, there were two places that we wrote a lot of code. So the first place was like really highly like customized user experiences. So I remember a project that we did for Procter and Gamble, right? The back end of this was like a QuickBase application that had all the data and there was stuff going on in QuickBase, but this was for their IT. How come I keep losing Gary here? It might be like a network connection issue.
Yeah. I gotta get a camera and you gotta get better Wi-Fi.
Right. I keep losing you, like you dropped off. But anyway, so
you jumped off of me.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a network thing. So anyway, we were building this thing for P&G, and it was this incredibly complex interface for IT project submission. So there was like a lot of like really
historical story you're telling. Did you build something because you needed to focus on your business model or your systems model specific to your environment rather than go off and buy it off the shelf? What was the driver for you to build it? Was it intellectual capital ownership? What drove the building?
Yeah, like, okay, let's take the things where we built things with code internally then. Like in the case with P&G, we're building an interface on top of QuickBase, where QuickBase is like the buy component, and then the build side is, let's go and like take the things that you can't do without code, like these really complex, user interactions that had to, very like logic oriented stuff for like picking, like which budgets IT projects are going to come from, like a lot of really nuanced stuff that needed like quality back-end data, but the user experience had to be like super tightly controlled, and it had to be deployed globally. And so what happened is like we had to get into a lot of testing around like every bit of code had to be optimized on the front end for this thing. You're loading this up for like low bandwidth environments in like the Philippines, for example, and you're not going to get that without like really digging deep and writing some code. And so that was one piece. And then we also, on the integration side, over time, we realized that when you're going to do systems integration, like all these different platforms and, ETLs and all that.
What is the mixed ratio you're working on in this story? Were you was it 80% build, 20% buy, or what was the ratio?
Well, that's what's so interesting is like in the, and again, I'm just looking at my own experience building low code. I would say like the reason we got the projects and the reason we can do them so fast is that a huge chunk of the work was let's say it was pre-existing.
What was that percentage? What's the fractional there?
Yeah, you could go with that 70%. You can say it like, look, 70-30 is going to be a rule of thumb, right? And I think we talked about 70-30. It's right in the middle of the picture. The 70, buy 70%.
Right.
And
you did good. You actually did what we're talking about today, which is flipping the chart around and going from build and buy and build.
I think this hybrid rule is buy 70%,
so
build 30%.
The new focus of the market is artificial intelligence as a driver. Drive it fast with acceleration is buying the technology off the shelf and build around it, and on top of it, and underneath it, with regard to intellectual capital for specifics of that use case. So that would be the 30% perspective of building.
Yeah, see, that's what was the promise of low code, and the company that I built, we were able to deliver that. I would say many companies did not do that. And so to be honest with you, I also think that low code, rapid development situation isn't necessarily, so you might say, hey, like to solve business problems, go 70-30. But when you're going to build like your own application, even if you're buying, the technology, that actually might end up being 30% of the actual cost and effort, because you're still going to put the time into the build side. And I think, like, I'm going to go back to
What the story you're talking about, was it a traditional technology project, with automation, without AI and without it?
Well, that's
or was it more or less? Or was it an AI-driven project? Tell me more about that AI. If the AI wasn't the point, I think you're right in your assumption. You have a traditional IT project for automation and some level of integration. You can build it, but then buy it off the shelf. But there's a driver beyond automation. It's artificial intelligence or simultaneous opinion, things like that, for building synergy between disparate systems and disparate sources of data, really driven toward a different focus. It's time to market.
I think this 70-30 idea, it doesn't add up that way in the end, because in the beginning you say, hey, I'm going to do 70% of the heavy lifting with what I buy, right? Yeah. And I'm going to do 30% with, I'm going to write myself. Okay, but then what you realize is you say, well, the 70%, it's off the shelf, it's the platform. Yeah, it makes up 70% of some by some number. But the other 30% is where the meat is. And I go back and look at my projects and I say, yeah, the reason I was there.
Those projects typically focus on artificial intelligence as a driver.
I don't think it matters whether it's AI or not. I think the thing is that, like, what's going to happen is
it does. I would argue against that. It does.
You think AI changes the rules?
Yes, it does.
So how does AI change the rules?
It changes the behavior of whoever writes the check, CFO or CEO. They want to go to market with AI as a competitive advantage as how they operate a business, or drive a customer experience, how they work with their customers as well. So yes, like the internet was a big driver 25 years ago. It changed. Now today, AI is a big driver for a different flip the paradigm away from the traditional focus, more to the time to market, with less cost, definitely less cost and less time to market. It's a market-driven phenomenon. We're going to be seeing this year, next year, and over the next year. This is going to be the new way for IT leaders and CFOs to think about development, where AI is a competitive advantage to the technology. If they want to use AI, they don't want to use AI, they're going to lose market share and then lose their business and lose their shirt. So what are your thoughts about that? Maybe that's my point of view and maybe that's wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
I mean, look, there was a post I saw about the sort of McKinsey pyramid, and some of the guys at Sorrent were asking me about, they were talking about, like, the marketing guys were talking about doing a webinar about AI worker innovation. And it's like, well, what are the drivers in AI, right? I mean, there's one driver that says, I'm going to replace work that's being done today by people with AI. I'm going to cut costs.
It's manual automation.
Right. You're like, hey, like, and look, I mean, if I go and look at, hey, I used to, 5 years ago, I was contracting out writing to a writer to write email sequences, and nobody would do that today. You're like, just go to AI and ask for a draft, and you're like, forget, you don't need, there's like huge chunks of work that just evaporate, right? So there's a subset of that. And then there's this other thing where it's like, I have projects that I need to accomplish goals for the business, certain cost out things. Oh, lost mic again, huh? This is really bad overall. Yeah, it's so weird. You keep dropping out of the stream. And I don't know if it's like a network connection thing.
Maybe it's my black shirt. Maybe it's bad luck. I wear it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. That's what I realized when you're live streaming like this. You're just on and you're just doing your thing. And, we're going to take this video and turn it into cool snippets and do all kinds of stuff with it. So I'm not really like stressed about the quality of the recording, but it is kind of weird that it bobs out.
We're doing point and counterpoint here. I'm the buy guy. I'm the guy that, I used to be the builder guy, but now I'm the buy guy. And I'm
Right.
sales people like to buy as well. I want to understand your mindset, why you don't trust the buy approach that you see on our screen. The enterprise AI solution.
Yeah. I mean, because here's what here's
buy
the
and build. Buy and build.
I mean, look, you're gonna make a stack decision, and you're gonna buy technology to support AI, right? But when it comes to the enterprise, and this is the analogy for me at the end of the day, right?
The keyword, ladies and gentlemen, is enterprise. Let's go.
Yeah, bigger companies, right? Yeah. So, one of the big companies that I built, a bunch of stuff for, built some stuff for, that was okay. It's a big name and didn't do a ton of work. What was Accenture, and what Accenture hired us to do was to come and solve one particular problem with the platform, and in the process of doing that, teach them how to build on the platform, right? How to use the technology, because they wanted to build a little COE, and they also were like, there's no way they wanted to be in a situation where they were reliant on a third party, say services provider to help them with the technology. And even honestly, the work when I was doing, work at Walmart early on, we built, their real estate construction management system, and then left them, domestic news store, but left them with the tools and the team and the people trained there so that they can do it themselves, right? And that to me is where I'm saying, like, look, maybe in the beginning you're 70-30 build, buy build, but it's going to flip the other way, because the money you're going to spend, when you're going to have technology licenses for AI, and then you're going to have an army of AI enabled developer, people that know how to build stuff with AI, and they're going to go around the company and they know how to go right and build an agent or whatever. They're going to go to XYZ department, say, okay, tell me what you want your agent to do. And then they're going to have an infrastructure environment for deploying these agents. And and all the money's going to go into these, AI smart people, right? People who understand how to create and manage, the bots, right? And so the investment is going to flip back. In the beginning, it's like, hey, I'm going to buy the tool, but the tool isn't going to solve your problem. It's building, you're going to have 20 or 30 people in your IT
problem. Let's talk about the problems. You put it on your agenda. What are the top 5 problems from integration drag to talent? What are the problems you think? Why are these people failing on these projects for AI? 67% of the projects have a failure rate. 67%. What's going on?
That's way better. Look at my slide. Look at my notebook LM. 95% of AI pilots failed to deliver. And this is a stat that's out there. You know what? This is the same thing. It was like,
well, mine's referenced from a provider that works with brand corporation. You know who brand is. 95%. Yeah, I've heard that rate as well from other people.
And it's failed to deliver measurable ROI. So you got to unpack these numbers a little bit, right? Like, so here's.
Well, if it's funny, and if it doesn't break even, you don't have a return, then it's a failed project.
Well, but what are the reasons for the failure? Like, was it? I never even had an ROI goal. I just wanted to build this thing, and I thought it would do something useful, and then we built it in what was was it a realistic number that you were going for with some, corporate guy, like, hey, I'm going to get money for AI and keep my job for another year. I'm going to go get money to fund this project that has a nebulous outcome. But, so that there's a lot more to unpack with a number like this.
Oh yeah, but 95% is going to be based on what you and I've discussed before the event. Leadership is a big problem. Then after that, integration, and after that, dirty data. And I'm simplifying this for the layman's out there. Dirty data. And the fourth reason could be, effectively lack of alignment with the goal of is this project really ready for AI?
No, I think those are all the common, reasons for failure. I look back at, when I was building projects and we were really good, right? So if I say I built 300 projects, like we were like Six Sigma good, meaning like in terms of actually delivering on the SOW and meeting the requirements of the projects, we did that. There was one time that I can say like that was a complete failure. And honestly, it's because we moved out. We did something outside of quick pace. We told the client we didn't think it was a good idea, did the work anyway. And there was like, you got 10,000. It was early on, and somebody with 10 grand or $20,000 who wants to build an entire business around this, and wants to dictate. And it was like, look, that was going to fail, no matter what. But when we ran our process effectively, by the way, also just the company that I built, we was acquired eventually by QuickBase to become their services arm or their implementation, whatever they call it, the customer success, part of their customer success. Because when we built the applications for the end users, they had 3.7 times longer duration on the platform. So massively less churn. And so I was really, really good at not running into the traps of these 95% failures because, and I look back on it, I'm like, well, why did it succeed? Usually it succeeded because, well, number one is that there was, a project in place that had, we wouldn't even do a project without a discovery and a clear mandate, right? So a lot of projects just start on the wrong foot in the first place, right? You're like, hey, it's not well thought out at the beginning. There aren't really clear goals. So we always started with discovery and making sure we knew exactly, it's to protect ourselves too. It's like, hey, I want to know exactly what I need to build to solve your problem.
I'm going to ask you, have you ever worked on a proof of concept before you launched the pilot? One of the problems that the market has, it gets so anxious and greedy and focused on making AI happen, they fail to do a POC, a proof of concept.
Always. Yeah, like I told you, I think
you were working with customers.
Oh yeah, definitely some kind of disconnect here.
In the lake of AI, it's recommended to do a proof of concept on one single use case and test out the software as a service tool to help enable that buy versus build on one use case.
Always like POC or prototype.
Basically, flashed at my provider one image there about how they provide a free POC. They don't actually do time and materials. They do it on a fixed price, fixed focus. Nobody pays for anything until it's been proven that their tool works. That could take days.
Now, always you want to do a POC. And I mean, that's the one thing I feel like with AI and especially agentic AI is like, okay, if somebody can't build you like an AI agent and show you that right away. I mean, okay, I think I put it on my show or I talked about it. I'm like, hey, I need to start building agents. I go, went in Google AI Studio, mind blowing, right? Like, wow, I can talk to the agent builder using AI, it interprets what I want, builds me this thing that's just crazy, right? I'm like, wow,
at the time in the market, the questions on the time to market is heavy on the builder. So heavy the builder is going to ask to buy, flip the mantra of build and buy to buy and build, especially with AI projects. That's what we're discussing today. I'm more on the focus of that is a true market factor. The CIOs and CFOs to buy. 7% of their money gets spent on buy off the shelf, and 30% spent on basically the IC, the intellectual property, the build piece. And they're both equally important in many ways.
I mean, I guess it depends on whether you include the resources that are going to be building AI. Because what I see from AI is that you're going to have companies are going to have to start training AI. I don't even know what the name of it is. It's going to be just AI builders, let's call it, right? And you're going to have a whole team of people that go around and say, I'm going to look for these AI use cases. So you're going to buy in the beginning because you're going to buy the technology.
I think the market has already shifted this last year, where it's going to be called buying out of a box, buy out of a box AI, and then surround it with with dressing, with clothes that are specific to your company, your business model, and your market as well. People want to go to market leveraging AI and different levels of AI as well now, and not wait on the builders for 18 to 24 months.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so you're getting into another question of like, let's call it AI products, right? So if it's like, hey, I'm a business, like traditional business, and I want to implement enterprise AI to solve problems around the company for like internal AI and maybe even like building some small external services. That's a lot different than like, hey, I'm going to go create like an AI product. I mean, for me,
another analogy. The market of IT back 20 years ago was not just the internet, basically based on package applications, ERP, supply chain management, very heavy ROIs in those arenas. And a lot of those systems were not built from scratch. They were built by providers like SAP, Oracle, a couple of other companies that worked for as well. And they went to market to build about 70 to 80% of the functionality that the customer wanted rapidly to be delivered, and then an extra 30% would be add-on extensions of the application that was already pre-built.
So I mean, look, I haven't dug into Oracle's.
With AI being driven now is the new product for companies who want to buy rather than build. They want to buy a good portion of that AI out of the box, take it to market, then surround it with 30% built for intellectual.
Yeah, no, look, I haven't looked at Oracle's AI stuff, but how's it going to look? Or how does it already look?
I'm not even bringing up, I'm giving you an
but yeah, what I'm saying is here's how it's going to work, right? Oracle's going to give you some AI tools to go and interact with your Oracle environment, right? You're on Oracle ERP, and then they're going to say, hey, use the Oracle AI suite. You're going to talk to the AI, and you're going to build like an agent, right? And that agent is going to interact with your Oracle ERP environment, and it's going to like go and, like whatever. It's going to go into the ERP and tell you what you need to do for procurement today, like what purchase orders are late for delivery. Like it's going to, somebody needs to, like, the AI can do this for you and it'll be okay. Or you can have like an AI developer come and create an agent that's like, hey, I want to script this so that I check on my orders, I can look at review, I look through it, everything looks okay. I tell it, hey, go ahead and place the orders. It places it does all these things, right? So you're going to have, what you're going to have is you're going to have a whole bunch of people. So you're going to say, hey, first I'm going to buy that extra Oracle license so I get the AI suite, right? And then I'm going to train a whole bunch of people, and my money's going to go into the people over time, right? There's going to be a small amount of money that goes into the platform, but the building side of it's going to be 70-30 build, because you're still going to pay the people. The whole people are going to disappear, I don't believe it, right?
I disagree. I believe that the market this year is going to be going strongly with by the out-of-the-box activities. 30% of the budget, and the other 30% is going to be based on build. That's the whole point of view that we're talking about. You're kind of disagreeing that you think that this may be just bad. What my father would say, a lot of things, everything's bad. This is just bad of this phenomenon of build, buy, and we'll flip back over in about a year, go back to build, buy. Is that some of what you're saying, that this is just bad?
I mean, eventually you're going to have people creating stuff with AI, and that's where the
I've got a customer. I've got a alliance partner, Bears Dev, great company, working with the last year. And what they do is they will show up after the in-house developers have maybe bought some intellectual property with other companies like others. They'll show up once they're ready to extend the application of AI through customization. Is what they do is customization.
Yeah, that's what you're getting, right. You're going to say, hey, go lice, go, whatever. I mean, is Google there yet for the enterprise? Maybe not with AI Studio.
But surely that application may be only 7% there for functionality and power. And ROI, the extra amount might be the 30% that comes back in budgeting for that application.
How much are you going to pay for the technology at the end of the day, right? I think that's the piece for me, is like, sure, 70% of the functionality is in the LLM, right?
But it less on the 70% of the functionality. pay less, and if you buy it, you're spending less money to buy it than you would to build that 70% plus time.
Now, look, you're not going to go build that on that one for sure. You're not going to go build your own LLM. I mean, almost nobody is going to roll their own LLM, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go train my, I'm going to go, I'm going to go. Now, look, ingesting, like if you're a big company or IBM, right? You say, you're going to create your own LLM. You're going to ingest all the knowledge of IBM for the last 100 years that you can get your hands on. And
what's it called, a RAG? Is it a RAG?
No, well, that's what RAG. Yeah, I mean the RAG is like when the chat bot goes out and gets other stuff, right? The LLM is like, hey, I'm going to create you can create a language model based on the internet or whatever like data you want to use to create your language model, right? But you get down to those root level technologies. Almost nobody's going to do this, right? I mean, if you're even if you're a mid-sized company, there's not probably a use case to go train your own LLM, right? But so yeah, you're going to go license Anthropic or whatever Claude 4.1 or whatever, Gemini 3.1. I don't even know what they're on. It's like it changes every day. It changes every week. So
you're afraid about this new model of putting people out of work. What I'm hearing.
Look.
And what I mean by IT people lose their jobs, they get downsized, the IT organizations because they find too many tools. They don't need as many people that code and program and all sorts of stuff and integrate and all that, right?
I mean, look.
Fear of this model, I'm going to ask. Because you're a change agent, but you're resisting this change.
I'm not resisting it. I am so all in on AI. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah,
but
it is funny because even for myself.
70% should be buy and 30% should be build. You're resisting.
I just think what's going to happen is in the beginning it's going to look like 70-30, but it's not going to be real because once you buy into the tool, it's just going to be like, hey, now I spend $100 a month on per person in my company on AI tooling. It's going to be dwarfed by once you go and hire, okay, now I'm going to go hire 20 people to go and actually make use of these tools. And you're right back to like people building stuff and creating. Because I just think that's how human beings are. We always find a way to want it to. And you know what's, to go even further, like, with software development, there was this huge bubble, that occurred where people were just hiring software developers just to have them on staff so that, their competition couldn't get them or whatever, right? They were in such demand.
Yeah, a lot of them did that.
And you know what? 5-10 years from now, it's going to be like, look, if you're like an AI agent builder or whatever it is, and you know how to build intelligent agents that actually do stuff, you're going to be in demand because it's not going to be the situation. We're going to have huge demand for people that can configure and build an AI agent that does all this stuff for me, right? I'll pay up $10,000 for you to come and build me an agent that does all these things.
Have a shovel or a backhoe? Govind, what do you want those people to have? A shovel or a backhoe?
Oh yeah, you got to have you need a soldering iron,
Oh, you want to go microprocessor boards? Okay.
Exactly.
So you want to go microprocessor? Okay. Radio Shack is out of business. You can't buy a soldering gun anymore. Or pencil, what they're called.
I use Radio Shack is one of those stores where I'd want to go in just to go look at all the.
Moved to Fort Worth a long time ago. It was headquartered here, right here in Hollywood, Fort Worth, Texas.
Anyway, let's go. Yeah, so Mike, you're.
I have two companies one company I will say their name because they're world known. Bears Dev, that's a company that's headquartered out of California, nearby you. And what they do is they're builders. They're what you talk about, which is building as software design engineers to build applications.
I've got to figure out this slide. Oh wait, I lost Mike again. Here, hold on.
The other one I won't mention, which is a company. There's me with my beautiful toupee that I bought online. But the other one is another company that's what you call a low code, not a no code, but a low code accelerator to build use cases for applications for leveraging artificial intelligence. And that company can do a free POC on one use case to try out their offering as a tool. They don't buy the tool until they actually believe the tool works from the outcome of that project. That project doesn't take months and 6 months to a year. The project on a proof of concept will take anywhere from a week and a half to maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and then you're done. That's it. You're done. And then after that, they will decide to buy the tool based on returns of cost savings that happen with the pot. We direct message directly on that.
The idea. I mean, this is the way to go. I mean, I don't think we got like disconnected on the POC thing, but yeah, I mean, I told you I built, this project had to go Larry Ellison for approval because it wasn't Oracle technology, and I went out and I had to pitch them on how I was going to solve their global revenue recognition challenges, and what I did was I built basically using low code. I built them. I was like, well, first of all, what you're trying to do isn't going to work.
You took the low code tool.
Yeah, and I built them a POC. I had it ready for them the next day, and then they were like, okay, because when I write the Scrum, I'm like, well, why would you have me build this for you, right? Why am I going to go? Why can't you have your own IT build this? And they're like, because their internal IT department can't even look at it for 18 months. And they had 13 weeks and they had to have this solved. Like literally I had to analyze every deal that Oracle sold in the quarter. And it was insane. Right. And, they flew me out to, I got to go to the big Oracle database headquarters and everything and, stand up and tell people.
You have a tool doesn't mean you lost your job as a consultant. You became a consultant using your backhoe, not a shovel. Build the manual approach.
Is a backhoe the right analogy?
It is, because at the end of the day, do you want to do more faster with a backhoe and then build a foundation?
I think I want to be the bulldozer. That's what I want to be.
I want to be a bulldozer. Okay, we'll use a bulldozer.
Look, this POC thing.
You have to have a human operator manage those heavy equipment to move things around. Something happens.
And that's exactly. Look, you're hitting it right on, right? Look, AI is the tool. You're going to spend a certain amount of money on the tool, and you need to have people who can understand how to apply that tool in the right place. And that's where a POC, whether you want to call it POC or a prototype. And this for AI, if it's AI agent, it should be fast. I spent an hour with Google AI Studio, built an agent that is just mind-blowing in an hour. Never even first time I used the tool, right? And so if people are coming back, look, for complicated, sophisticated stuff.
Enterprise, this offer for a free custom AI proof of concept is based on enterprises that are fortunate.
Yeah. Look, it's not going to be hours, okay? But we're talking
hours, it could be days. The shortest amount of time I would think they can do something like that is going to be several days. 3 to 7 days.
Even still, right? This is what people were saying about low code.
You put your project manager hat back on if you're a certified PMI. You go for the scope of effort and build a project plan. It comes down to the plan, and then you estimate the amount of time it takes to complete the plan. Some projects can take a day or an hour. Some projects may take a week or two, or it depends on the complexity and scope. This comes into that. AI is effectively a tool with low code generation, leveraging that tool. And who actually works with that tool is going to be a software developer or a software design engineer.
That's it. They need a new term, AI builder, agent builder.
They build some code. They're going to have to extend that beyond the blueprint of that focuses that foundation with some development activity as well as builders of code as well. It's a blend. It's a blended action. I can see that you're resistant to change of digging a ditch or digging graves.
No, this is awesome. So, hey, look, anybody watching this, or once we distribute this out, if you want AI POC from a, rapid AI building platform, hit up Mike on LinkedIn.
We're going to build something with various devs, contact me as well.
Anything. Yeah. No, I'll do it. You know what? If somebody wants me, I don't think I would want to build AI for people, but I'll help anybody understand, okay, what can you do, and what is the decision, because every day there's something new, right? It's a mess. Absolutely. And how do you muddle through that, But that's a good topic maybe for our next show, man.
Well, I enjoyed meeting you online live.
Yeah, we're doing this again, man. Next week, everybody tune in, and anyway, I'll wrap it up, and then we just we have to figure out how to do something useful.
We're not gonna have a cup of coffee. I see coffee on the screen.
I know. Yeah. Next time we're bringing the mug. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll have to bring coffee mugs.
No, and it's not even the morning, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Next. All right, Mike. You enjoy your afternoon, and appreciate it. And fun stuff, everybody.